What's up, y'all? It's me and Baldwin with a What's Up, y'all that I actually was thinking about the other day and just hadn't done anything with, and so I was like, no, I haven't done a new What's Up, y'all in a while, so it feels like a good time to share. I was, I told you every once and again I'm stalking IG to see what's going on, and the brilliant Charlene Carruthers, and if you do not know her, you should know her, and she is brilliant. Brilliant author, brilliant organizer, brilliant Black strategist. You should know her. She posted on her Instagram page basically saying like anti-racism is not our answer out of the issues that we face in the world. Because, she doesn't see anti-racism as liberatory. And I slid in her DMs because I was immediately sort of, pinged by that conversation. And I was like, you are absolutely right. Because, and this is the piece I wanted to expound on with you all, because liberation is not a deficit-based model. Liberation isn't about what we are against. There are things that sure you will be against, but being against them doesn't inherently mean liberation, right? Like being against chattel slavery didn't make Black people free. It made them free of that particular version of bondage and ushered in an entirely new cavalcade of other bondages by which Black folks had to live. So being against something does not create unto itself the foundation for what it is that you are for. You have to seed something into that space. Once you've removed a thing, and I feel like I've talked about this in other spaces before, once you've removed a thing, if you don't plant something in that vacant space, a weed will return. And that vacant space will then be overwrought with some, it might be a new kind of weed. It might not be a dandelion. It might be a thistle. But it's still not going to be what it is that is intentional. Baldwin, if you don't get off my counter. That's how I have to talk to my dog sometimes while I'm over here. He trips. But so I say that to say that it is not unimportant, that people do anti-racism work. Anti-racism work is useful. It's necessary. It's an important framework. But it is not the answer to liberation. Because liberation is an abundance-based energy. I was watching Eyes on the Prize, Hallowed Ground last night. Shout out to Kayla Reed. Shout out to Prentice Hemphill. Shout out to Fresco. Shout out to Tarana. Shout out to Patrice. It was a beautiful project with so many brilliant Black, queer, trans, non-binary thinkers, doers, movers, brilliant people in it. But I was watching that last night, and now, of course, I did so many shout outs, I forgot what my point was about it. At the end of the film, they asked them, what is liberation? And each person sort of gave their take about liberation. And at the end of my book, I answer that question for myself, for what I believe it is. And I believe it is the unobstructed access to each person's ability to live in the high, to manifest the highest versions of themselves. And that's radical self-love. And radical self-love is liberation to me. And so the unobstructed access to our highest selves, nothing's in the way. None of the oppression is in the way. None of these unhealed traumas are in the way. None of these systemic things are in the way. None of our internal blocks are in the way. That's liberation for me. And so if we're not cultivating that, then what are we cultivating? And anti-racism isn't the answer to that. Anti-racism removes one thing, but it didn't remove ableism. It didn't remove homo and transphobia, it didn't move imperialism, it didn't move late stage capitalism, it didn't move all the other obstructions. And that's why unto itself it isn't liberatory. That's why, since for 10 years now, I've been saying and will continue to say that until we see all of these things as related, Baldwin, leave it. Until we see all of these things as related, as inextricable parts of a whole that must be dismantled, we will be playing oppression whack-a-mole for the rest of our lives. These entire systems must be uprooted. The soil must be completely tilled to a brand new state, and then we must plant something new. So anti-racism work is important, but if you are treating anti-racism work like liberation, if you are viewing like anti-racism work as like the end all, right? If your organization or company is invested in DEI like it's the thing that's going to transform, you're missing the mark. Anti-racism work isn't transformation, because transformation takes a state and turns it into a new state. It doesn't leave the absence of a thing. Liberation is what is available to us, not just what is gone from us. So I invite us to start thinking about what is actual liberation, and what if we design from that place? What if we ran our organizations from that place? What if we built our systems from that place? We'd have a different world. I mean, I'd be saying that every day though. All right, y'all. And thanks, Charlene, for that thought.